I was living in New York City, right? And I hooked up with a fireman, right? Yeah, yes, girl, yes. She gave me the face and I was like, pitched out right. Yes. Like the straight up like FDNY, New York's bravest. He had the like calendar hot thing, that like blonde crew cut and that thick ass 70s Chips mustache they always have. I don't know why they always have a mustache. That shit is so flammable, but they're just like, I don't care. I'm a white guy running toward danger, you know? I don't give a fuck. Like, if they could fight fires in cargo shorts and Birkenstocks, they'd do it, because they're white dudes, right? So anyway, he totally had, like, the entire look, and I was like, this is like a bucket list situation. We are doing this, right? So we go home together, everything's great, and, like, we're taking off clothes, right? And I, like, take off a shirt, and then suddenly I am face to face with a huge 9/11 memorial tattoo. Yes, it was gigantic, y'all, okay? There were, like, twin towers here. You could see every fucking window in the towers and everything. There was a fireman kneeling in silhouette like this, right? Like, never forget emblazoned on a banner up here, you know? And, like, look, I did live in New York on 9/11, okay? I'll never forget either. But, like, could I forget for the next 45 minutes? Like, nothing dries a girl up like 9/11, guys. Just too plain, just poof, you know? Haha, that means it's not too soon. Okay, sweet. So I'm sitting there like staring at this thing like, and he can tell I'm weirded out, right? And he starts saying all this amazing stuff. He's like, oh my God, you are so beautiful. I would do anything for you. I would love to suck another guy's cock for you. I don't need that done. That's cool. Could you like maybe fix the toilet or something? I don't need that done. Thank you. No, okay, look, to be fair to him, he did this thing that guys will sometimes do with you, right? When you're like getting hot and heavy, and they pull this thing where they're like, what's your fantasy? Tell me your fantasy. I want to know your fantasy. And they get all boy band about it. They're like, tell me your fantasy, girl. Tell me your fantasy. Like, dude, ladies, if you ever hear this shit, guys do not want to know your fantasy, okay? They want you to share your little bullshit rinky-dink fantasy with them so that they then have permission to share with you their huge 3-ring circus passion play of a fantasy. And there's like a dwarf and a chimp and fire and a clown on a bike and a script he's been working on since he was 15. Like Miramax has got to option the rights to it. It's so intricate. So like, you know, like, I didn't have a fantasy at the time. I was like, well, I guess it would have been fucking a fireman, but you kept talking, so I gotta come up with something else, right? So I just, like, I'm sitting there, I'm on the spot, he's asking me about it, and I was like, I don't know, 2 guys. And I don't know why I said it. It's like, guys always say 2 girls, you know? I don't know, Interview with a Vampire was hot. I don't know why I said it. But, like, I think it's because whenever, like, you know, a threesome is totally a fantasy that people have, but when you have that fantasy, you imagine yourself starring in the threesome, right? You don't imagine yourself in a supporting role in the, right? You know, when 2 guys fucking each other and you're in there, like, getting your face smashed by dick and balls. Like, yeah, do it. You know, like, you imagine you're the center of attention, right? So I was like, I don't know, 2 guys, right? So he goes like, oh, really? And I was like, oh, shit, now is not the time we start suddenly paying attention to everything I'm saying, right? Because he's like, I've always wanted to suck another guy's cock in front of a woman. And I was like, cool, awesome. Like, I'm not gonna kink shame him. It's a fantasy. Think whatever you want to think. He's like, yeah, you'd like that? And I was like, yeah, all the guys, all the cocks, just suck 'em, suck 'em, suck 'em, suck 'em. Hoover 'em up across America, do it, you know? And so, like, we go back to having sex. It is amazing, all right? Because he's thinking about the cocks thing. It's amazing, right? And I was like, oh, right answer, Desiree, right answer, right? So, like, I'm close. He can tell, right? And that's when he gets all up in my ear, and he's like, and this is when the guy comes in. And I'm like, no! He was not invited! You know, this is when the guy comes in, and I start sucking his cock. And it was like all hot, heavy breath, like in Aliens with that mouth, like right there. It was like right in my ear. And like sucking his cock. And the thing is, he was originally from Boston, so he couldn't even say the word cock right. He was like, yeah, I'm sucking that cack. Yeah, I love that cack. That cack. I love cack.